Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to go over a quick new tool I've been using. It might not be too new. It got introduced in some of the recent beta versions of Photoshop with them introducing AI and the generative fill and all that. They added a new tool, and I'm sure a bunch of you guys already know this, but if you're not using it, you definitely should use it. It will help you speed up your process when removing things, and that's called the Remove tool. Basically, it kind of works as like an in-between clone and healing brush, but it's much smarter than the healing brush. Whereas the healing brush, we needed to sample an area, and then we would paste it over there, and then it would kind of do its thing to think about what you wanted from that area and then blend it in. This tool, you don't have to sample. It just does its sort of like a generative fill brush to removing things, which is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to click off this layer and show you the original. And this was the original. Now, disclosure, this tool did not fix the entire side of the car here. Obviously, you can see this is the problem child. We have all the pipes and beams reflecting into the side of the car, which is a huge headache. So, 90%, 80% of that, you need a circular polarizer, right? It gets taken right out. But I don't have all the layers here. I did go in, though. The circular polarizer only did so good. I went in and removed things further. But basically, like, I'll start on a fresh layer like this. We don't have the main layer here. So we'll sit here and we'll add a new layer. And I'll act like I'm touching this photo for the first time. So, you're going to select the car out and paint in your circular polarized layer of the side of the car, right? You're rotating that lens to get multiple reflections canceled out with the CPL filter. But it's amazing because, originally, say, like, these light posts, say you didn't have a CPL shot of the side of the car, or maybe it didn't look this bad, but say you didn't have a CPL side and you want to get rid of some of these distracting pieces, well, you had to clone here and then go like this, right? But now you can kind of see your line. That was actually pretty good, but you get what I mean. So you have to keep sampling here, and a lot of times this doesn't look right. You'll see your markings. The other one was the healing brush tool, which just works great too. Don't get me wrong. This works great when you have an actual layer that you're on and you just sample to the right and you paste, right? The thing that gets annoying about this tool is when you come near an edge and you want to do it, you get these weird, it pulls down from the edge, right? Well, the amazing thing with this tool that I'm saying, it's kind of in between, it's the remove tool. It generative fills those areas. So you just got one stripe and it does its thing. One stripe. It doesn't matter that I'm close to the edge. It understands that you were near the edge and it samples in what should continue there. Right? I'm not going along the edge. I'm stopping at the edge and going down. So it's saying, oh, okay, that must be a hard stop there. We'll make sure that we keep that information and not mess with it, basically. And I think that is an extremely helpful tool. And I don't need to keep resampling. This car is, it's working out, but sometimes you'll sample over here and then you do over here. Like, this is a perfect example. You sample over here and you do over here and you're like, oh my God, I got the spot wrong. So then you do it again. You're like, oh, it's not right again. And then you do it again. You're like, oh, it could be better. And then you switch over to the healing brush and you see if the healing brush could give you a better look. And you're like, okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's roll with that. But now you have a little mark there. It's just really nice to be able to pick a tool and say, I want this gone. And it's just gone, right? Even in something detailed like this, it blows my mind kind of here there's a pattern and everything, right? So I will just kind of get rid of that little X there, that little plus sign, and boom, it picks up the pattern, it picks up the texture. It doesn't get all weird in color because you're near a harsh line. Same thing with the wheel well here. Now, you can be precise and it will be even better, but just say I'm like, okay, this needs to not be there. That's generally a pretty awesome job right on that edge. To get rid of something like that. I don't know how this does on skin. I don't know how it's handling some other styles of photography, but as far as removing stuff on the reflection of a car, I'm enjoying using this tool. I've found also that this in combination with everything, right? If you do a CPL shot of the side of the car, and then you use a brush, right? sometimes the brush is just like the starting point, right? Okay, let's get that out of there, and then we'll get in here and we'll try to airbrush some stuff out and do what we got to do. But this needs to go, right? So that's like, look how quickly that was. Do you like with all this cloud, with all this like cloud reflecting in the car, you have to find like sample, and then you're like trying to line it up, and then you're like, okay, I think that looks good, and then you sample it, and you're like, okay, that worked, right? But it's not always that easy. It's not always easy to have all these perfect lines matching while you're doing all your cloning work, and then there's a gradient shift happening as well. It's just a problem a lot of times that kind of takes a lot of our time, and that's gone in seconds. I don't even have to think about it. Oh, I don't like that. It's gone in seconds. It's one of those complementary tools to how we handle situations like this. That's generally a great job, and obviously it's getting confused because it sees all this other stuff and it's like, oh, it wants to add it there, but then a second brush and that looks really good. Now I can focus on some of these bigger chunks. Like I said, you should have probably CPL'd this side, but this is a really, really cool tool to help speed up the process, and especially with like little lines. Like, oh, you got something like this, and it generally does a pretty good job here too. You might need to like fix the roof of the car, right? But generally, if you just keep things pretty tight, it usually does a good job. We'll see if it gives us a nice straight line on the roof. I mean, not bad. Now I would come in with my clone tool, and I'll, fix that straight line on the roof of my car, basically, right? And then you get a nice clean finish. So it's a really cool way to kind of speed up the process and help you with some of these things. I'll show you guys some other examples. This is a finished shot here, right? And there's the before and after. Not too much editing done to this. You guys know how I usually edit, but this one was just a clean, fall day. But looking back at some old work, this was shot maybe about a year or two ago. I left these tar lines in here, and there's looking at this, like as far as like doing clone stamp work and stuff, you could just see the gradient going from like washed out white red to like a vibrant red. That's a very annoying clone stamp because you're going to get so many different gradations of that red. You're going to be able to start seeing your lines basically. A tool like this, you're just going to go like that, and it should do most of the work for us. Sometimes I don't like how it auto connects there. That did a pretty good job. The way it works is if you connect the edges, it'll fill it, right? If you just do a straight line, it'll just do a straight line then. So sometimes you got to work. You might want to, like that first piece I did, you might want to do in like 2-3 brushes, right? So you got that. That's gone. Clean up that edge right there, and already it's pretty gone, right? Like you're not seeing that. You can go right over this line, right? The door jamb. No, and the other tools, it will make a mess out of those door jambs. This follows the door jamb. Look at that. Just follows a door jamb. It just makes getting rid of the annoying reflections pretty easy, especially when you're really far away from the car. Some of these reflections are just so tiny that this is like a little, like something like this. I mean, I don't think this makes or breaks a photo, but like you could just go right across it, and it just does a great job just cleaning up some of the stupid little annoying things that are in your the paint of your car, basically, to help give it a cleaner look. And that's the before and after. Obviously, you can see I see a CPL filtered this. I generally start there with every single automotive photograph I take. I'll get my CPL filtered shots of the hood of the car and then the side of the car, basically. And one more. So, here's the before, and let me click to the after. Before, after. So you can see, like, you got a photo like this, and it's pretty nice, especially when you're working on composites. That's when this is nice. But you got a photo like this, and you got to get rid of all those little lines because you plan on transitioning it into a totally different location. You see the light posts that were in the shot and stuff, and like I'm seeing these now. Like before, I would shoot this and be like, oh my god, this is gonna be so annoying. Look at all the little stuff I have in the reflection. And I used to sit there and make sure that every little piece is gone and taken care of. And that's how you get such a clean looking car. And you can see right here, I did that in the past. This photo was taken and edited when I didn't have this tool. And I wish I did, because I see something like this now, and you just click on that tool and you're just, zipping things out. I need to go like that. And I'm just zipping things out. really, really quickly, and this stuff would have taken, it cuts your your work in half, right? This is a lot of the issue when you're shooting cars, is these ugly reflections that we're getting in the car. So I'm obviously doing this really quick. Yeah, I just think that this is a really cool, versatile tool, and it's pretty forgiving too. And I really like. This is one of my favorite features. The generative fill feature is cool. Don't get me wrong, and it does an awesome job. But I don't think it's completely there yet. I think they'll get there. I think Midjourney's still the leader with that right now. But I'm hoping Photoshop can figure it out and get there and then give us better resolutions. But as far as like my new favorite feature, this has got to be it. I mean, it's just look at that. It's just an absolute lifesaver in time to get these ugly pieces of our photo out in seconds. Like, I mean, you got this, you could see the snow up against the building here, right? So I'm just going to go right along that, and I don't have to think. It's gone. See, did a little bit left there, and now it's gone, right? There's a door there. It's gone. Hey, you can see me there. Look at that. Gone, right? And you can keep going, right? Obviously, in the final, you could see that I did more work there, but it gives you an awesome starting point to basically, finish off the rest with the other tools, with the clone stamp, with the healing brush, with generative fill. So, the one thing I will say about the tool is every once in a while, and I haven't had it happen since I've been on here showing you guys these ones, but sometimes you'll do something, and I don't know if it's like a pixel issue or if it's a bug, but sometimes you'll go, and when you do this, the result will give you something very patchy and pixelated. You can almost see it there. Oh my god, that's the first time. You can kind of see it there. I'll try to zoom in. It sometimes has like this little pixelated patchy look, and a lot of times I'll just like erase it and then like maybe go tighter with the brush there. I'll go tighter so it's just focusing on one, and I'll let it do that one, and then I'll do this one in separate. If sometimes too, if it just keeps doing it, like you can see it's having a little bit of an issue with that little piece there, and it's not finishing it because I'm not finishing it to the edge. But if I finish it to the edge, so sometimes when we get to this point, then I'll, if it will continuously give me that like weird patchy, like the AI doesn't know 100% what it wants us to do there, I will go in with some of the clone stamp tools and I'll like smooth things out, right? Because I can grab here and then make it like really, the opacity like 20%, and I can start filling that in and cleaning up that patchy work. And now, it's much easier to clone out an irregular pixel there compared to like, harsh black lines basically. But yeah, so that is all I have today, and that is pretty much my favorite tool as of late in Photoshop, in the new versions of Photoshop. I think this was probably added, I think it was an update after generative fill came out. So you guys should all have it. I'm pretty sure it's in normal Photoshop and not just beta. Correct me if I'm wrong, let the comments know down there if it's beta or not. But anyways, check it out. Add it to your arsenal. It is really awesome to use, and it will clean up a lot of your headaches when you're removing reflections. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Later.